Welcome to Catelas Relationship Forensics for Information Security. Meet Sarah. Every company has got a Sarah. Sarah is leaving our company. She's a good employee, many years with us, but has decided to leave to join a competitor. In security here, no one has asked us to take a look at her email and see if she has been emailing any important market-sensitive information out. One of the reasons we don't investigate Sarah, unless we are specifically asked to do so, is that there are 40 Sarahs leaving every month. What are we to do? Take a couple of days out per person, that's 3 people per month full time, to collect, load, and read the last 6 months of email from 40 people who most probably did nothing wrong. And just on the off chance someone did something wrong, that's our reality. Overworked, under-resourced, and reactive. Or does it have to be?
Catelas is the first enterprise-wide communications, surveillance, and investigative solution. Catelas can process both email server log files and telephony log files, in addition to native communications such as email, PSTs, NSFs, and IM. As you can see at the top of the screen, Catelas then displays this data as a network. We are used to seeing communications data in lists, page 1 of 100 and 100 emails per page. To make sense of such a large volume, we need to search that data. Clearly, the search paradigm fails when you don't precisely know the keywords. In the case of log files, the communications network of the entire company is displayed, showing clearly how information is flowing within the company and out to competitors, webmail, and clients. Catelas is unique in that it leverages both behavioral science and social networking algorithms to grade the strength of relationships and activity within these networks. Displaying the data in a top-down manner greatly facilitates the investigative process. And because of our unique algorithms, Catelas is very good at identifying the key people in any investigation, uncovering missing custodians, and in general cuts the time taken to investigate by 80%, making you smarter earlier. Catelas is literally deployed in days, does not need to integrate with Exchange Server, and is completely non-disruptive to the business or IT. So how is this used? Catelas is used by security as a proactive email surveillance solution, whereby analyzing these email server log files, you can uncover the entire corporate network without collecting a single email, without leaving your desk. This allows security to monitor all communications to webmail, competitors, or other groups for suspicious activity. Log files can again be used to carry out preliminary investigations, allowing, for example, information theft incidents, departing employees, DLP events, or suspicious activity reports for compliance to be investigated within minutes. Should the preliminary investigation indicate that the event is serious, Catelas tags the relevant emails and retrieves those precise emails from the archive and loads the actual email data for more in-depth analysis. Catelas also analyzes native emails to conduct identification for legal hold and to deliver early case assessment reports for legal. In summary, Catelas is a single solution that can serve the needs of compliance, legal, and security. Log files are processed to uncover the entire company network. By simply typing in an employee's email address or the domain of a competitor, the entire network can be displayed. Investigations can be conducted fast and without the delay and disruption caused by collecting email. When something is discovered, the selected emails are tagged and retrieved from the archive for more in-depth review. So, why Catelas? Well, Catelas allows you to easily and quickly uncover security events without knowing what to search for, allowing up to 5 times more investigations to be conducted by the same resource, expanding the group's ability to uncover and investigate more. Catelas is always on, allowing investigations to be started immediately. Catelas is non-disruptive, which is of particular value when investigations are conducted overseas, for example, for Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. The return on investment is significant. Catelas cuts the collection costs by 80% by allowing most investigations to be conducted using log files. Only selected emails need to be retrieved from the archive for further review. Investigations are conducted 5 times faster and can be conducted centrally without traveling overseas. Additionally, Catelas cuts the cost of external outsourced resource for larger legal matters that can now be managed in-house. Let's take a look at the demo. As you can see, Catelas is a single solution that can service the needs of compliance, legal, and security. Catelas can process the log files from every Exchange server to uncover and display the entire company communications network. Additionally, native email PSTs or NSFs can be loaded and the networks displayed. For this demo, we have loaded the Enron dataset, which allows us to show how Catelas works with some real data. Full disclaimer that all the scenarios we illustrate here are purely fictitious for the purposes of this demo.
Now let's go back to our departing employee Sarah. Before, we did not have the 2 days it would take to collect and load her email, nor the 5 days it typically takes to linearly review it. However, with Catelis' log file solution, we don't need to collect Sarah's email. We simply search for Sarah, add her to the case, and display her network, all in less than a minute. As you can see, within minutes we are looking at a top-down view of her email. This is a very different experience to the bottom-up view presented by traditional tools, where firstly you have to collect and load the email, and then you are overwhelmed immediately by the detail. You are presented with a page 1 to 100 and 100 emails per page. You can always search, but that assumes you know what keywords would match the data which was stolen. Let me explain what you are seeing here. The person you are investigating, Sarah, is given a black background. People who work with Sarah are dark blue, and people outside the company are light blue. These would be clients, competitors, webmail, etc. As you can see, the connections between people are also color coded. This is important, and this is where Catelis is unique. We leverage behavioral algorithms, which do not simply count the emails, to derive how well people know each other. This is critically important, as people with strong relationships typically work together or know each other personally, so this greatly helps the investigator discover who else is involved. Relationships are color coded, red being the strongest, then green, blue, and gray being the lowest, weakest relationship.
In order to quickly answer our question, is Sarah stealing information? We use the adaptive filter. The adaptive filter automatically populates itself based on the attributes of the people and their relationships which you see in the network. Here you can see the companies in the network, and here you can see the name of all the people in the network. In this case, we want to see all connections to webmail and the company that Sarah has said she is leaving to join, which in this scenario is Deutsche Bank.
As you can see, Sarah does have weak relationships with a few people, and a relationship with somebody at her new employer, Stephen Kessler. We can click on the connection to Steve and view those interactions, entering the data from the top down.
What we can see here is that Steve's relationship with Sarah began on the date of September 2000, and the relationship terminated on the 5th of the 11th, 2001, which is more than likely when Sarah joined Deutsche Bank. At this stage, we are in the log file version. If we want to view the email itself, we need to tag that email and collect that email from the archive, in which case we can actually then view the email. Viewing the email also allows us to examine the content of the communications in question. Let us now expand the network to look at activity. As you can see, many more connections appear that were not there in the relationship network. This is because one-way communications, whereby say I send you 100 emails and you never reply, is not considered a relationship, but clearly it is activity. So all the new connections here are one-way unidirectional information flow. Of particular interest here is a new connection between Stephen Kessler and what appears to be another Sarah Shackleton. If we hover over the Sarah Shackleton, we realize that this Sarah Shackleton also works for Deutsche Bank. And as we can see, there's no relationship between Stephen Kessler and this Sarah Shackleton, but there is activity implying that the communication between the two is in one direction. If we click on the link between Stephen Kessler and Sarah Shackleton, we can take a look at the actual communication.
This email was sent 2 weeks before the last email correspondence between Steve and Sarah at Enron.
Sarah clearly was working for two companies at the same time.
For more information, please visit us at catelas.com. Catelas, making you smarter earlier.